I took one for the team and watched Mississippi Grind. Hey there, this is Tom and Tom's Tech Show. Today I'm gonna kind of go over this director who directed Captain Marvel and what other movies and things that this team of Anna Boden and Ryan Flack have done. Flack? What kind of a name is that? Flack? I don't know. Okay, so one movie they did was called Mississippi Grind, and I thought, oh, okay, Ben Mendelsohn, right? Love Ben Mendelsohn. Ryan Reynolds, aka Deadpool. Um, so, and I thought, okay, well, we'll give this a shot. We'll see what other kind of movies, what other kind of directorial things this person has done. What gives this person, this team, they write and direct together a lot. What gives them credibility to now do a major tentpole Marvel motion picture movie? So I watched Mississippi Grind, and I need to start my video capture here. Record media, record screen. Okay, so I got to get this going. So I kind of thought, okay, let's see if there's something that we're not seeing, that somehow, some way, in some area, this is, worth, putting time and effort in, I don't know. So here, Mississippi Grind, it's got a 6.4 rating out of 16,000 votes on IMDb. I watched the movie. This is basically a random two guys to get together buddy movie, kind of traveling across the country movie. They both have basically gambling problems and proceed to, at all points, for no reason, either lose their money, get beaten up, stabbed, everything boringly along the way in a drolling, non-interesting way, traveling across the country. Every single time they move somewhere, there's the locating shot, where you, like, if you're in a sitcom TV show and they move from, the office to the house, they'll, when they're at the office, they show a quick 2 seconds of the office outside building with some music, so that way you're at the office. Then when you're at the house, they show the house, a couple of seconds of music that you're at the house. So you're establishing these location shots. Well, every time there was a location shot, it's like 8 to 10 different shots just droning on. Just, oh my gosh. Okay, I know we're in St. Louis, all right? Just show me the arches and we're done. I don't need the arches, 12 different streets, 8 different bars, everything else. It's like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. Did nobody talk about, pace and cinematography? I mean, all this stuff. I mean, it just went on and on and on like that through the whole thing. They did, they kind of break apart towards the end. They kind of go there in these huge cities, somehow they just keep meeting each other. Okay, that's the plot, whatever, that they end up, traveling together down to wherever they're going. I lost track of it because I just got tired of it. Then at the end, they start with, $100 and then build it up to $500,000, and throw it all on one roll of the dice. But that part of it only took like 2 or 3 minutes of the movie. It wasn't even a build up. It was just like, okay, we're gonna, here, I'll throw you $1 and then we'll bet, and then, you return my $1 and there we go. And then you flip around and they roll some dice and they got $500,000. I'm like, okay, well, there's no lead up to that other than the fact that they've blown all their money, constantly. The Ben Mendelsohn's character, he constantly has to go the next step. He has a ton of money, but he's got to bet it all and continue forward. So he keeps losing it all through the whole thing. So he owes people money, gets beaten up, and everything else along the way. Then Ryan Reynolds' character, for some reason, he wins a lot of money, and he goes and finds somebody and challenges them to a basketball hoops one-on-one for $100 and then tells them he doesn't have the money when he loses, so that they beat him up and then they find out he has the money. Like, okay, so psychologically there's something wrong with you that you feel guilty about having money. So it's never really explained, other than his mom sings, you know, in a bar for tips later on, we find in the movie. But I don't know, it just meanders and goes all over the place. So I said, well, let's find out, you know, our favorite Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see. Oh, look. The reviewers think it's fresh. No, the regular people who went and saw it and marked it don't like it. They gave it 54. So, no, regular people don't like this movie. I mean, I guess if you're a drunk or a gambler, well, it's not really drunk, it's more gambling. You're addicted to gambling, and that's your problem, and you go and see it, then you'll realize and sympathize with other people that, you know, gambling's an addiction, which it is, right? So, okay, so one of the other movies that this person has made is one called Sugar, which is just basically a documentary. That, of course, is going to get a high rating, and the people that scored it gave it an 80. So, you know, but it's a documentary. Heartfelt documentaries are pretty easy. You have a good timeline. The story is basically already written for you. So what is there to do but to tell the story? And if it's a good, compelling story, fine. So 80% of people liked it. So these people can do documentaries. And then there's this movie called It's Kind of a Funny Story, which even gets completely, totally panned by the Rotten Tomato reviewers that have posted. It's 58%, and only 66% of the audience liked it. So that's pretty close to being, you know, a splat on the audience side. So there's not many other movies that these people have made, right? If you go here and you look down on this thing, they've did Room 104, which is a TV series, directed a couple episodes of Billions, a couple episodes of The Affair, a couple episodes of The Big C. But then these other movies, I mean, those, I basically went over the major movies that they've done, right? Mississippi Grind, Sugar, and it's kind of a funny story. Well, it is kind of a funny story. How can anybody think that this is a team of people who can fully and totally direct a major tentpole motion picture? I mean, if you wanted to really bring somebody in, you know, and do it, go find somebody who has a history of an experience of that. I mean, just look at the other, you know, directors like Jon Favreau. I mean, he's done, you know, amazing films. Had some hits and misses, you know, like all of them do. But, you know, I realized Jon Favreau's not a woman and couldn't direct this movie for some reason, which I think if he had, we would have gotten an actual movie instead of what we got. Like I said, disclaimer, I have not seen it yet. I am not going to be able to see it until, of course, the Infinity War marathon. Or Endgame marathon, that is. I'm still stuck in Infinity War. But, so, this is the quality that we got. This is the pool that they picked for, you know, a director, a 58%, a 54%. You know, we're not dealing with the best of the best, right? This is not what they pulled from. So, all right. So it's not a surprise what we got. I'm sure these people are, you know, probably nice people to meet in person, but I think they have their own agenda, and I think they're going to push their own agenda. None of these movies really seem to be agenda driven. I mean, comedy, a documentary, and gosh, I spent 2 hours watching this movie. I just can't. I can't do it. I'm never going to watch it again. I watched it several years ago because it was Ryan Reynolds, and I'm like, I was on a Ryan Reynolds evening. You know, you get those evenings where, okay, Netflix, what do we have with, you know, Ryan Reynolds? What do we have, you know, with Mel Gibson? Let's go through all the Mel Gibson movies. What do we have with, you know, some other actor? You know, and going through all those. Keanu Reeves, you know, just run through their catalog, you know. When you've got time, you're trying to go to sleep and you can't sleep, you got insomnia, so, you know, you do those kinds of things. Well, I did this a while back, and I didn't remember it very well because obviously it's not memorable. Okay. Well, thanks for watching. Like, thumbs up, give all that stuff to this video. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I do kind of videos every like 3 to 4 a week. I mean, Mrs. Tech Show has been out of town, so I've been doing more videos for these last couple of weeks. So it may slow down just a little bit to down to like 3 or 4 a week. I'm being pawed at by the cat here because it wants attention. This is this is the big cat. This is Bones Jackson, who's just a monster. Has a, you know, thyroid problem, obviously, for the belly. Okay, but so I also do videos. When you go down, I also do videos about you're just too heavy. Photography, technology, things like that. Tomorrow I am going out to Santa Cruz Island to shoot photos, so I've been getting things together, you know, like sunscreen and things like that. So great, thanks for watching this, and you know, take care.